Hello, and welcome to Coach's Corner. This is Renee Cruz. I am a DreamMaker franchise coach as well as the training specialist. And I'm sitting with Brent Bailey, who is the owner of the Huntsville, Alabama DreamMaker location. Brent, I would love for you to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your journey to DreamMaker and how long you've been a part of it.
Sure. Um, Actually, I'm celebrating our DreamMaker of Huntsville is celebrating their 10th anniversary.
Fabulous.
Yeah, I came from the corporate world of major appliances. I was a designer there, and long story short, just kind of got burned out on the corporate world, and remodeling and home improvement projects were a hobby of mine. I did that instead of playing golf. I just enjoyed it. I was weird like that. So I was not looking for another job. I was looking for an opportunity, and stumbled upon DreamMaker and was probably most attracted to their code of values, and which was you don't see that much on Wall Street and so
Right.
forth. So, but it also gave me a chance to move closer to my extended family and start a business in Huntsville. I have family in Athens and then Muscle Shoals, which is not far from here. But yeah, I took a leap of faith, and God led me here, and I haven't looked back. I've been very happy.
That is wonderful. I wanted to take a couple minutes today to talk about the office manager effect. And I know that this at one point was a pain point for you. What were things like before you had the right office manager?
Well, it's funny. I look back, and in 2020, we hired an office manager in January. 2021, we hired an office manager in January. 2022, we hired an office manager in January. Well, actually, that one was cut a little short. So the
Mm,
previous two, these are things beyond my control. They were both
right.
very happy with their job, and I felt like they did a very good job as office managers. But the first two that left, I mean, honestly, they left when they broke the news to me that they were going to be leaving, and the reasons they were going to be leaving. They both had tears in their eyes, and questions as to whether or not they really didn't want to leave. But I
Mm,
had a situation where the first office manager had a husband that says, "I want you to stay home,"
mm,
and so she followed suit. And my next office manager, who did a very good job as well, had an opportunity to come out of the blue to work from home and stay with her two children,
mm.
and that's something that I couldn't compete with. And actually, those two people, and even the third office manager, because I'm with my current office manager, Madison, I'm on my fourth. Um, Not only when they before they departed, they offered to stay on, and not only stay on, but help us recruit their replacements.
Mm.
Um, and beyond that, they both stayed. I want to say a week and a half to help train the new person. So the third office manager that we hired in 2022 did a great job, but there was a little bit of drama in her family that I didn't see in the interviewing process.
Mm.
Um, and it really didn't affect her work until the following October. So now I'm thinking, all right, I was thinking I'm cursed. I'm going to have all these great office managers that are happy, but
Oh
leave me
no.
within a year. So when you turn over office managers yearly, it's hard to maintain consistency.
Yeah.
And with one leaving kind of abruptly because there was a family crisis in October of 2022, I was a little nervous because, the previous two office managers, there was a nice transition,
Oh, right. Then you
but
had this whole.
yes, yes. So,
Hmm.
yes, is there anything else? That's kind of the state of affairs, so I had
Yeah.
production going, but it's when you bring somebody in, there's a certain amount of time before everybody gets the groove of things, and you know,
Yeah.
how we work, because we all have different personalities. So, just, there's an adaptation in that regard. So,
Right. Well, and the nature of what the office manager does really glues things together. And so to not only find somebody, but then get them up to speed. So your current office manager, um, I know where you found her. Luckily, she was available, but how how did that come about that she became your office manager, and how did you develop her skills or help her to develop her skills as the office manager?
gotcha. Yeah. So to just to be totally transparent, my current office manager is my youngest daughter. And actually, it was a suggestion from my wife that, hey, why don't you bring Madison in for, this was October, and we need to do our due diligence on finding a replacement. Madison had had some experience working with I don't want to, it's not a cosmetic surgeon, but she was a receptionist that was dealing with clients that she had to handle, and
Hmm.
she answered the phone and had to be very professional. She had left that job and had a part-time uh, job at the botanical gardens here in Huntsville. So she literally came in. We went over the job description, and she was, the intention was for her to be here literally for 2 or 3 months until we found somebody.
Hmm.
But I remember the first time I heard her answer the phone with a client, and her professionalism, and she puts a slight twist to the kind of standard DreamMaker
Hmm.
um, answer, phone call answer, introduction. And that's one of the things our clients, they come in, or I'll speak to them later, and they will talk about, this is before they even know that she's my daughter, but they'll comment on how impressed they were with the way she handled that initial conversations,
Hmm.
which is extremely important because most of the time the office manager is you know, they're the face of the business when somebody
Right.
calls our number.
Yeah, yeah. If they're not having a good day, then doesn't bode well sometimes.
Right. So,
Yeah.
but as far as development, I've been very lucky because I've never felt, it's funny, as good as I thought I had it with my previous office managers, and even the one that left abruptly, she did a good job. It was just
Hmm.
family drama, but it was amazing to me to realize how much I was micromanaging and having to ask, "Hey, did this get done?
Oh.
Have you done this?" Or I just felt the need to. And so Madison, after about a month, I realized I would ask her these questions. Hey, just checking in to make sure we got this done, or can you do this? That came up frequently. I'd ask her,
Hmm.
"Can you do this?" She said, "Well, I've already done it. I'm supposed
Love it.
to."
Right. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
So, as far as development goes, honestly, there really hasn't been a ton that I've had to
Hmm.
coach her through. Um,
I think the
but
key is her professionalism, right? So
right, right,
finding the right person for that position, it's an organic development that takes place. You don't necessarily have to force her to be in that role.
right.
Yeah.
And I'd love to say she's going to work here forever, but who knows?
Yeah.
So if I were looking for another office manager, I think the lenses I would be looking through would be very different now than it was in 2020.
Hmm.
We used Hierology and had good
Hmm.
response, good success with them, and that we had great candidates. And every time we hired somebody, it was a tough call between three candidates out of maybe 20 or 30 people. So, but it's yeah, Madison. Um, she's taken a lot off my plate.
So let's talk about that for a minute. What tasks or responsibilities were you finally able to let go of?
Well, once I, you know, accepted, hey, this is my little girl who 10 years ago, she was 16 years old. I kind of never imagined her in this capacity. So
Right,
it
right.
took a little time to get adjusted to that. But once she has a very high capacity,
Mm-hmm.
and she cares about the business. She
Mm-hmm.
doesn't, she looks at it like an owner. And actually, I
Mm-hmm.
have a lead carpenter who's very similar in that regard. And I think those are great people to find when you have them,
Yeah.
treat them right because um, she, beyond the normal office manager, what's in her job description, it became
Mm-hmm.
apparent that she could handle a whole lot more. And not only could, wanted to. So,
Mm.
she's heavily involved in sales. She's heavily involved in design, especially selections with clients. She's already established the rapport when they make the phone call, and she's honestly the first person they see when they walk in the door.
Mm-hmm.
And she works hand in hand with design through the design process to production handoff. So she's well aware of what's happening in all aspects of the company.
Mm-hmm.
So there, and I'm going to talk to my franchise coach very soon about this. And uh, we're thinking of perhaps changing her job title and description
Oh, wow.
to fully encapsulate what she actually does.
All the
Because
things.
she literally pulls permits for us.
Okay.
And she communicates with her trade partners, scheduling. Now those are things that myself as a general manager and slash
Mm-hmm.
production manager has been doing. When we will
Right.
be probably hiring a production manager very soon, but she has, you know, sh- she's not just a person that does, that just checks the boxes and at 4 o'clock she's out the door.
Right. She's vested.
Yes, she's vested for sure.
That's awesome.
So there are tons of things that I used to do that I shouldn't have done, that I
Mm-hmm.
didn't realize that I was micromanaging, or I felt that I had employees where felt like they were doing a good job, but in
Mm.
retrospect, I was putting too much time in because I was not certain the job was getting done. Now I just
Mm.
don't. I don't ask.
Yeah. How do you two communicate to stay aligned?
Well, of course, we have our weekly meetings, but I think, as I mentioned before, because she is so involved and aware of all aspects of what's
Mm-hmm.
going on in production and sales, design. I mean, and that perhaps maybe it does help that she's my daughter. But it's she she does a very good job of not only being accountable but holding me accountable,
Mm.
my production staff accountable, my trades accountable. It's not uncommon for me to come in the office in the morning and there's a post-it note sitting on my screen with about five things that she could think of that really weren't hers to think about, but
Mm-hmm.
it's like, hey, did you order this or did you do, you know, these are some things that you need to have on the forefront of your mind today. So,
Mm-hmm.
I've been very blessed in that regard.
It sounds like she anticipates more than waits for that directive.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's goes back to, when I would ask her if she had done or ask her to do something, she already knew to do it. And of
Yeah.
course, she's my daughter, so I mean, the way I communicate to her, and because I used to work directly with my wife in the corporate world, and we would have to tell people before meetings, hey, we want you to know we're husband and wife, so if we communicate, we're a little more direct.
Right, right.
So, and we actually tell our clients, this is funny, maybe off the subject, but I do have to tell my clients that, hey, this is my daughter, and because I did have a client that we were in the discussion. I guess I had left the room, and the
Hmm.
client said something about me being her husband,
Oh
and
no.
that's when I was like, "Oh no, 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 that's my dad." And the client was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so relieved. I thought he was some dirty old man."
Oh my gosh, that's hysterical.
That's one of the first things that we,
Right,
communicate
right. Get
to our
that out
potential
there. Well, there are a
clients.
lot of dream makers that have, I mean, family businesses. In fact, we did another podcast recently on family business and boundaries and working with family, and it can be a double-edged sword at times, And so that's, I could
Yeah.
see, yeah.
So, it's in another benefit. One of the things that I found is how much closer,
Mm.
she's my daughter. I love her. She loves me, but it's just tightened our relationship personally,
Oh, that's
as well as
awesome.
professionally. It's kind of strange, but uh, so communication. She's very proactive, and
Hmm.
she's probably out there telling one of my lead carpenters what to do right now.
Jeez, that's awesome though. So, I mean, she obviously goes above and beyond the initial expectation of her as an office manager. If you were to hire a new office manager now, what key elements would you look for?
Um, well, the personality is very important.
Hmm.
But some experience in having to deal with public is,
Yeah.
that's one of the things that I didn't really think about. Hey, before she came in, she had experience dealing with clients that were sometimes,
Oh, I'm sure.
high-end clients that had
Hmm.
certain expectations. So that's helped her in, that initial creating that rapport over the phone and the initial face-to-face. So if I were having to replace her, I would be looking for those traits.
Hmm.
Um, Not just, hey, do you know QuickBooks? Can you answer the phone? I think I would be
Yeah.
much more hypersensitive to the personality traits.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Yeah, there's a lot to be said for that too, especially in this day and age of all the electronics. We're hyper connected and yet farther apart from people and meeting
Right.
expectations. That's a
Yeah.
key element, especially within DreamMaker, right? I mean, we strive to take care of the customers first, and so I could see how that would be a huge driver.
Yeah, and our customers, we don't like what we tell them. There's going to be a time where we're going to do a pre-construction walkthrough. But we're not handing it. We're not disappearing. While you dealt with Madison and myself through the
Hmm.
design process and you know closing the contract, waiting for your stuff to come in and get staged. She's very proactive in communicating with our clients. Hey, good news. Your cabinets came in. We
Mm.
may not be close to actually starting, but she keeps the client excited. And even during the um, construction, if
Hmm.
somebody forgets to put daily logs in, she's like, "Where are the daily logs? I want to see it."
Oh, that's awesome. I love
Yeah.
hearing that.
And she stays in communication with the clients, whether it's text or just phone calls.
Yeah.
And to the time, when we finish the job, she delivers a gift basket and that she puts together for them. But
That's
um,
really good. I like that she does that as well, even from the moment the bigger products come in. I think that's good to keep people in the loop on where their products are and where they are in the process, even if you're not doing the work yet.
right,
I like that touch point.
yeah, yeah. We had a home show this past weekend, and we had a client that came in that was uh, it was good. It was a decent sized bathroom, and they were very pleased. And um, spoke very highly of us on reviews, and they do plan on us using us for other jobs. But they came to the
Mm.
home show. They made a special visit to see us, and I think Madison was kind of touched that the homeowner who really, I think Madison saw her like when we took photographs of the bathroom, but
Hmm.
she didn't see her every day during production, so they haven't spent a lot of time together since we were in the design phase.
Hmm.
But the fact that she gave Madison a hug when she left and was kind of
Aw.
teary-eyed, it was Madison was like when she left, when the client left, she's like, she hugged me.
Aw. That's really sweet.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I appreciate you taking some time to answer my questions. Is there anything that I didn't ask you that you would like to share? Or, I mean, I think we covered a lot of ground, but certainly if there's anything else you want to add, I want to give you a chance to do so.
The only thing I would say, with any hire slow, find the right person.
Yeah.
But and I hope this helps. I mean, I don't know if it is totally helpful because I did honestly kind of get lucky with my current office manager. Um, but in retrospect, my wife saw something that I didn't. Um, and
Well, and you listen to your wife. I mean, I think that's a great takeaway here too, right?
well, and I think well, I know, yeah, in any hire that we've ever had, my wife actually has been involved
Mm,
in the final decision. There has been an interview that my wife was included. Now,
mm.
she's not a DreamMaker employee, but she's married to an owner of a DreamMaker. She
Yep.
has a vested interest,
Yes, she
and
does.
she's a professional, and I respect her opinion. And um, sometimes she sees things that I don't. So
Yeah.
that's another thing that people, again, not just in an office manager hire, but any hire,
Yeah.
don't.
Having the key players.
Yeah, if I'm the smartest person in our business, then we're in trouble. So um, I know a lot of things, but sometimes another perspective can, catch your blind side. So
Yeah, that's a
that's the
great
only thing I can
point.
think of that I would add that we perhaps didn't discuss.
That was gold right there. That was wonderful. Thank you so much, Brent, for your time and your experience. This is how we all learn from each other. So I appreciate you taking the time to share.
Thank you very much, Renee.